Hi, I'm Christine Hughes, Human Resources Specialist in Employment and Staffing.
And I'm Heather Varela, Diversity Coordinator for Sam Houston State University.
You're probably watching this video because you have been selected to serve on a hiring committee or search committee at Sam Houston State University. Now that you're on the committee, you might be wondering what comes next.
This training is intended to provide both faculty and staff with an overview of the hiring process here at SAM. The information we provide will help to ensure that our university remains committed to a fair and inclusive environment in accordance with established guidelines. Remember, at any point, you can always contact the Human Resources Employment and Staffing Team for help at 936-294-1070.
Today we will discuss the right steps in the hiring process. They are: Step 1. Determine the job requirements for the posting to People Admin. Step 2. Post and advertise the position. Step 3. Screen and rank the applications. Step 4. Select and contact the candidates to interview. Step 5. Develop job-related interview questions. Step 6. Interview the selected applicants. Step 7. Make a selection decision. And finally, Step 8. Notify the non-selected candidates. In Step 1 of the hiring process, the hiring committee should determine the job requirements for the position. For example, what are the primary responsibilities, essential functions, and usual duties for the position? What is the preferred education and experience? Will you create screening questions? What will your ranking criteria be? Will you require the candidate to submit any supplemental documentation? Your committee should also determine which higher qualifications they will use to rank the applicants and determine who to interview. A best practice is to determine the criteria you will use to rank the candidates before the application screening process begins.
Note that all committee decisions and discussions about requirements or the candidates should be strictly job-related.
The second step in the hiring process is to post and advertise the position. The hiring department will start the action on the posting in the online applicant tracking system, People Admin. Once the position details are final, Human Resources will post the position in People Admin. Human Resources will also post it on various other sites such as Work in Texas. We encourage the hiring department to place external advertisements for the position in addition to the sites on which HR posts. It's a great way to broaden and diversify your candidate pool. Please feel free to speak with the diversity coordinator for more ideas on where to post your ad.
We have a list of resources we can provide that will assist you in gaining access to a diverse pool of candidates.
Note that all external postings must match the information included on the People Admin posting and contain instructions for candidates to apply online at shsu.peopleadmin.com. Remember that the committee can only consider applications submitted through People Admin. The posting must also include our Equal Employment Opportunity Statement.
Be aware that the committee must clear any additional advertising through Human Resources first. HR may need to make edits to accommodate HR policy and legal requirements. Please send a copy of the ad to the staffing specialist for review. The EEO statement reads, Sam Houston State University is an equal opportunity and an affirmative action plan employer and a smoke and drug-free workplace. All qualified applicants receive consideration for employment without regard to race, creed, ancestry, marital status, citizenship, color, religion, sex, national origin, age, veteran status, disability status, sexual orientation, or gender identity. Sam Houston State University is an at-will employer. Security-sensitive positions at SHSU require background checks in accordance with Education Code 51, subsection 215. When your committee creates and advertises the posting, keep in mind that it is the university's intent to attract and recruit a diverse pool of qualified candidates to the university. To that end, and in accordance with federal laws and regulations, Sam Houston State University must implement a formal affirmative action plan as a condition of doing business with or receiving funds from the federal government. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, an affirmative action plan is to ensure that all persons have equal opportunities in recruitment, selection, appointment, promotion, training, discipline, and related employment areas. AAPs include activities to expand employment opportunities for all employees. Our AAP includes training programs, outreach efforts, and other guidance for employment practices such as this video. By now, your hiring manager or committee chair should have received the Sam Houston State University Affirmative Action Plan goals. Please ask the designated person to share these goals with the committee members.
AAPs set goals that serve as guideposts for hiring and promotion decisions. By achieving diversity in race, ethnicity, physical capabilities, and other factors, we provide a more inclusive environment with a wider range of solutions to the challenges of our times.
If we fail to properly address the AAP goals, the consequences to the university could include potential legal liability through discrimination claims, audits and fines by the Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs, and a loss of reputation and competitive advantage with employees, with students, and within the higher education community.
What can the committee or your department do to help achieve the AAP goals? There are a number of steps that Human Resources and the Diversity Coordinator can suggest to your department in order to attract a diversified applicant pool. Please contact us for assistance and review our Affirmative Action Recruitment Plan Policy number ER-4 on the Human Resources website to learn more.
Let's be clear. Affirmative Action Plan goals do not mean we must select a less qualified candidate from an underrepresented group. Hiring based on race or minority status is illegal and can cause legal exposure to the university. Affirmative Action Plan goals do not mean you must hire someone from an underrepresented group if he or she does not meet minimum qualifications or is less likely to do well on the job than another, better qualified person. It also does not mean you must hire an external candidate for a position. Instead, the goals guide us as to how to make a good faith effort to address any discrepancies that might exist regarding who is available in the qualified, relevant labor market. Through the use of plan goals, we will work to attract and promote qualified individuals who are the most suitable for the position.
Once the committee members determine they have received enough candidates, the department should request that Human Resources close the posting. This brings us to step 3 of the hiring process, screening and ranking the applications. Remember that when the committee members screen and rank the applications, they must do so in accordance with the preferred hire qualifications. These should be strictly job related. Compare the candidates to the criteria you determined for selection and create a list of candidates to interview. The candidate pool should reflect the diversity of the applicant pool, and all candidates selected for interview must meet the minimum qualifications.
Please provide your list of interview candidates to Human Resources prior to contacting the candidate for an interview. Both faculty and non-faculty positions must be reviewed by Human Resources to ensure that due consideration is given to diverse candidates for the position. HR will work with the hiring manager or committee chair to finalize a list of the most suitable qualified candidates to be interviewed and to ensure alignment with the AAP goals for your department.
Step 4 is simple. After HR has completed the review of the interview list, the department contacts the candidates and schedules the interviews. That brings us to step 5 in the hiring process, developing job-related interview questions to be asked of all candidates. You may not include any interview questions related to race, creed, ancestry, marital status, citizenship, color, religion, gender, or national origin.
In addition, you may not include any interview questions related to age, veteran status, disability status, sexual orientation, gender identity, childcare, or health issues. Any questions you decide to ask should be written and maintained by the department. This brings us to step 6, interviewing the selected candidates. During the interview, you should ask each candidate the same questions and document the candidate's responses. The department will need to have these questions and the candidate's responses in the event of an open records request. As required by Texas Senate Bill 805, if you select 6 or fewer applicants for an interview, one qualified Veterans Preference applicant from the pool must be interviewed. A qualified Veterans Preference applicant is any applicant that meets the qualifications for the job as stated in the job posting and who self-identifies as being eligible for the veteran's preference on his or her application. If you select more than 6 applicants for an interview, at least 20% of the number interviewed must be qualified veterans preference applicants. If there are no veterans preference applicants in the qualified applicant pool, there is no requirement to interview a veteran.
With the interviews complete, in the next step, Step 7, the committee will make a selection decision and contact the references for the finalist. Prior to extending a contingent job offer for a staff position, contact Human Resources to review the requested hiring salary. The Dean's Office must approve the final candidate for faculty positions prior to the contingent job offer. Once you receive approval, either the Department Hiring Authority or Human Resources can contact the candidate to extend the job offer contingent on an acceptable criminal background check. The offer is valid as long as the candidate's criminal background check is returned as employable. Refer to Finance and Operations Human Resources Policy ER9, Criminal Background Checks, for additional details. The selected candidate's start date should be the most convenient for the hiring department and selected candidate. The university does not adhere to any policy requiring specific start dates. In the final step of the process, Step 8, the non-selected candidates should be notified. For staff positions, HR will send out the notifications. For faculty and executive positions, the committee is responsible for contacting the candidates that weren't selected for the position and notifying them that it has been filled. All committee documentation is subject to the Texas Open Records Act and must be kept for 2 years from the selected candidate's hire date. This includes copies of criteria, decisions, letters sent, and so forth. Documents for the faculty searches should be kept by the hiring department. Documents for staff and executive staff searches should be sent to the HR staffing specialist. If you receive an open records request, please contact Human Resources immediately since there are strict timelines involved.
At SHSU, our motto is, "The measure of a life is its service." The university's hiring process is intended to show appreciation for the unique talents and experiences that each applicant brings to the table.
Always remember you can reach out to Human Resources and the Diversity Coordinator at 936-294-1070 at any stage of the process for assistance and planning. We are here to help. We thank you for your time and willingness to serve on the selection committee, and we wish you the very best.